Hello, I'm the Greek Geek because I'm 50% Greek and 100% a geek. When this movie first came out last year, I missed it at the cinema, and by missed it, I mean I had no idea it got released and I couldn't find a screening anywhere near me, or if it was even in Australia, but I'm reviewing it now. The Gardner family has moved to a rural farm and everyone is trying to deal with their own shit. And a mysterious meteor crash lands on their farm, gets struck by purple lightning, disintegrates, and weird shit starts to happen around the farm. And the Gardner family is like, yeah, sure, this is fine. Let's not go away from this place. Let's stay here. Cast characters. So, Nicolas Cage as Nathan Gardner. Yes, he does go full Nicolas Cage in a few scenes in this movie.
I've had it with your drama, Lavinia. So do me a favor and get the fuck out of my sight, okay?
So that should be encouragement enough to watch this movie. I enjoyed everyone's performances. Joey Richardson, Madeline Arthur, Brendan Meyer, all did really good jobs. Elliot Knight did great as well. I liked his character trying to figure out what's going on with his family. And I did like the dynamic between Ward and Lavinia as well. They had a nice dynamic, and I liked the relationship between Teresa and Nathan. I liked that they're trying to reconnect after her surgery, after having her breast removed and dealing with that. Adds a different layer to the characters, that they all have their own stuff they're dealing with. And the Gardners put up with a lot of weird shit before they decide, hey, we should probably get away from this farm. It's directed by Richard Stanley, and this is the first movie that he has directed since The Island of Dr. Moreau, outside of documentaries. So this is I guess, a return to form to him. So he wasn't fired from this one, so that's good. So he directed this and intended it to be the first of a trilogy of H.P. Lovecraft adaptations. But based on how this one did financially, I can't see that happening. As much as I would love to see more H.P. Lovecraft adapted movies, I don't think it's going to happen. Cosmic horror is a very hard thing to do. Trying to portray the horrors of the universe and what lies out there that's beyond our comprehension. How do you put something that's beyond our comprehension into a movie that we can comprehend? This movie does it okay, particularly towards the end, but for the most part, it mostly just deals with body horror and just strange things happening, especially with the body horror part. Like, there's some parts in this movie where you can tell that The Thing was an inspiration for it. Music and sound, it had a very kind of 80s sci-fi-esque soundtrack, and I really enjoyed it. Really set the tone. I've got a soft spot for 80s sci-fi soundtracks, so that's really good. Feels very otherworldly. The soundtrack was composed by Colin Stetson, who is a very talented composer. So this movie is very low budget, so the special effects, the CGI effects, don't look that great close up, but I'm willing to look past that. Special effects for me is something that I look at based on budget and who is working on it. So there's obviously, with a smaller budget, there's not as much as you can do, unfortunately, but you can get past that. When things start getting like The Thing and they start using practical effects, there are some very creepy effects that they manage to pull off, and it is very unsettling. It's very loosely adapted from H.P. Lovecraft's book, The Color Out of Space. I read basically the whole plot of the book, so from what I can tell, it's not a very close adaptation at all. It doesn't have much in common with the book at all, other than the family's name, meteorite crashing to Earth, and there's a weird color, which in this movie is pink purple, and, well, weird things happening and people dying. Other than that, not too much in common with the book. So, would I recommend this movie? I would recommend this movie. It has some pretty interesting practical effects, and it attempts to do the cosmic horror thing, and it does it okay. So, but then again, we don't have that much choice when it comes to H.P. Lovecraft adaptations and cosmic horror. So if you're a fan of science fiction, just in science fiction in general, I really recommend checking out this movie. And if you're a fan of horror, there is definitely some scary, suspenseful stuff in this movie that you will enjoy as well. That was my review of Color Out of Space. Thank you for listening to me ramble on about a science fiction movie for a few minutes. I do appreciate it. Thank you again, and I'll catch you next time.